building.
Oh, yeah. Well, if they don't have it, NSA sure as hell does.
Well, not unless it's tapped into the internet. If it really is closed circuit, I would think
there's a
they'd
cop. They want to see
need
if I
something
can pull
crazy
her.
to
You
get
think
it. No, we can just go to a place to walk around, I guess.
Okay.
So if they wouldn't answer a question, I think it's a good one about to have the cameras help solve crimes. Like, they can't even answer that without a PIO being referenced. It's like, you know, for real.
Chances are most of the cops are just gonna say no comment and stuff. One strategy I have in mind is maybe I can get them to talk and you can be nearby. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, right there. God, I just bought a pack.
Oh man, there may be so many people bumming for cigarettes in this city. I heard it's a very tobacco-y state.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. LSU recently is trying to become a smoke-free campus, and that is a huge... Everybody's up in arms about that. Because it's not just the students. You got to think about the professors and the people who actually work at the school, like facilities and
Are
stuff.
they trying to ban vapes too?
In the articles, the students who like want to ban cigarettes just don't want the smoke. They're okay with smokeless tobacco, but you know, it's just like one thing leads to another. No parade time. Let's see, dude.
Metered parking's probably fully occupied.
Oh yeah.
Here's metered parking.
Because of all the hotels and all the businesses, there are a lot of loading zones. It's like New York, basically. Really small scale, though. Here's we talked to the cop last night.
Yeah. I bet a lot of them are hanging out in front of bars, right?
Yeah.
And then they're less likely to talk. They're getting paid kind of part-time for that, right?
They're getting paid to provide information to tourists. Now, you might want to lead off with, "Hi, my name's Garrett." Just first name, introduction. Because when you don't give your name here, it's like sketchy to them.
Totally.
But
I usually give my name.
Yeah, you need just to be a friendly person. And God, these are the people. Just let me go.
It's just perpetual, yeah, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool. Taxi. Yeah. Yeah, there's a car trying to pass in front of a street.
I see why you wouldn't want to just travel with streets on this roads and this. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, that's just because that was Bourbon Street. I was just cutting through to see if I can get a parking space somewhere. Because you can't even park on Bourbon during the day. You're not going to find a spot. No chance. Another police car. See, they got them stationed on every corner. But you never know where the cops are. They're always without anybody inside. Ooh, I'm surprised he doesn't scrape that. He just missed the pole by about an inch.
I would have cameras lining all that up for me on a screen if I was him.
Oh, in the limo?
True. No parking passengers there.
Oh, yeah. Alright, here we go. Just where we want to be.
It's the Judges Square.
Yeah. Alright, another NOPD police vans. Homeless Assistance Collaborate. Sure.
I almost thought it said resistance because the A
Yeah,
is
that was
very.
my first thought.
The A is tilted one way.
8th District. Maybe they just misspelled it. I wouldn't put it past them.
Police officer on duty. It's a Charger.
There's another one right up here.
Cars are a lot more anonymous when they don't have front license plates.
Yeah. I don't have one.
I didn't put mine on yet just because I didn't have screws. I just got a new plate.
Okay, we're good. Not gonna run anybody over. It's the thing you gotta watch out for here. That's another part of the port. They sometimes have port security up there, and they'll, if you're on the rocks, they'll say, "Oh, you can't be here." Doesn't help having people take up 2 spots and driving this fucking thing. Jack's Brewery, classic landmark.
Is it the cylindrical building?
That is for the ferry, I believe. Or that could just be, yeah, that's for the ferry. And right on the other side of that wall, they have streetcar tracks that run all the way down in the Riverwalk past Goodley Circle and turn around, I believe, unless they extended it. Anyway, by those tracks is where you'll see the Homeland Security Bearcats and shit.
Do they have an MRAP here, the military vehicle? It's mine resistant.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen one. The only one I saw, I believe it was a Bearcat.
It's a big armored box.
Yeah. Because I don't think it was one of the mine-resistant ones. And I've seen our SWAT patrol truck. We do not have MRAP for that.
I would think that,
New Orleans would.
well, that and, yeah, because of the port aspect. And I was also thinking that most police vehicles are probably armored anyway, correct?
No.
Well, not armored, but the bulletproof windshield, I would think. You're in a place with high shootings, you think it'd be simple enough upgrade safety measure.
Problem is, like you know about the corruption here, there's not a lot of money, funding even for the police.
With all the Fed grants?
Yeah, because it's always some higher up taking just his portion of it and pocketing it. And that's what happens all the time. That's why you have a lot of pissed off cops, or did before a lot of the people got kicked off the force. Because they just kept getting screwed, even by their union bosses. Oh man, they're the fucking worst. That's St. Andrew's Cathedral. That's where we saw the Mounties last night.
Is that a common occurrence for the weekend?
To see the Mounties, I didn't expect them to be out That early?
Red light.
Oh, yeah.
Red light.
Well. Red lights in the quarter, not the biggest deal because of the traffic and everything.
Where?
You never want to do them, but cops are lenient with that unless there's no one in front of you or near you and you just run right through it. So I'm going to turn down here. Should be good parking.
No buses.
And this is why I have a truck. I'm sure Pete was happy with his ride down here.
Glad I didn't drive.
Oh, did a spot just open up? No, that's way too small, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make that. Right here. Driveway. Is this another driveway? Yep. I'm trying to park in the quarter on a Saturday night. Wish it were easier than this. Ah, here we go. Is this promising?
No parking passenger zone. I don't know where it extends
That's
from.
for cabs. No parking down there.
I suppose that could be private security, right?
No, that's OPD. Private security usually drive, I think Tahoes or Nissan brand.
Or like H3s.
Yeah. Cops all use Crown Vics. Cops and cabbies. Now, Mardi Gras is when you see the most arrests and when you see the cops get out of hand with people. I mean, of course, they're being drunk and belligerent, but they don't even tase. Like, they don't tase them, which is a good thing. But they will beat the shit out of them if they're fighting, which is understandable.
Well, there was that video, maybe it could have been 5 or 6 years ago now, maybe longer, of police are making an arrest initially, and a Mountie comes and blocks a cameraman. And then when you see the Mountie's horse move its rear out of the way, they're pounding on the guy's head, and his hands are being held like against his chest.
That's not surprising, at least. And they always try and say, "Oh, he's resisting," even when people aren't. You can hear people crying for help.
Do you know what the resisting statute is like here?
No, but
What classifies as resisting arrest is like, to what extent you can verbally resist, to what extent you can physically not cooperate.
You can not cooperate, like resisting arrest. If you're just lying limp, that's not resisting arrest. If you're actively engaging the officers, they're gonna say you're resisting arrest and beat the piss out of you.
That's one way the law is slightly better than in New Hampshire, but the effect is, I don't know, it could be a per capita issue, but
Yeah.
But
Well,
there,
during quotas,
you can't go limp. You may be charged with resisting arrest. It doesn't mean they always do, but it's happened where they'll charge.
Yeah,
people
no,
with
they'll still
resisting arrest
file
and
it. I mean, they may end up having to drop the charges or whatever, but
Oh yeah, the cops probably don't know the law that specifically.
yeah,
either.
no. So they get on their high horse, and oh my God, so many driveways, no spaces. No parking. Always no parking. Try putting up with this for a few years. First line, avenue.
Is there paid parking somewhere? Because I imagine, like, that's got to be available somewhere.
There is, but they're only open during like big events. Like I saw some, but they didn't have anybody working at them.
So I guess you could conclude there's a legit parking issue in New Orleans if we can't get that.
Oh,
close.
yeah, oh, hands down, that has been an issue for a few decades now, and still nothing gets done. Nothing ever. They don't care. And it's a huge tourist issue too. More local though, especially when you have tourists coming in.